Hello my friends, welcome to Talk to Me Tuesday for Tuesday, January, 25th, 2022. This is Jennifer and this is Iliad. So for, weeks now I've been telling you guys that I had a really big project coming up, and the truth is I have two really big projects. This requires just a tiny bit of backstory. It's not a particularly happy story, but I do want to share it with you. In mid-November, the young man who should have been my daughter's future brother-in-law died unexpectedly at the age of 26. I did not talk about that here at all because it just didn't seem appropriate. Once the dust had started to settle, I offered to make memory quilts for the family. So, memory quilt for his brother, who will be my son-in-law, and a memory quilt for his parents, who will be my daughter's in-laws. And that is what's on my wall. This young man was, as I said, 26. He was an organic chemist. By all accounts, incredibly brilliant, really silly, funny, and just complete and utter tragedy. So I am, this first quilt is for my daughter's fiance. He picked some of the sillier shirts. This young man, his name was John. He was huge into tie-dye. Apparently he made and sold tie-dye t-shirts to people in high school, loved science jokes, loved corny jokes, loved borrowing people's shirts. The family wasn't entirely sure if all of these were his or not, but they were with his stuff. So I have tried to take as much joy as I can working on this project. It has not been easy. My daughter's fiance actually picked the green, this is a lime grunge. I will say it's not pieced completely yet. I have pieced the blocks into columns. The long sashing is not sewn together yet, so it's just the shirts, and there are actually a couple pair of pants in here too. Those are in the columns. Those are sewn together, and then the rest is still needs to be sewn. I did actually make this block. This is I designed this in my embroidery software and in Brilliance. This is the symbol from a show called Reboot that they watched as kids, and he didn't have a t-shirt or anything for that, but apparently he would wear it in on paper when he was a little kid and things like that. So I designed that. It's a machine embroidery applique, and I'll make another one of those for the parents' quilts as well. And so this is why I haven't really talked about this project yet. I knew it was going to be sad and hard to discuss, and also I didn't want to be talking about this. I don't think too soon is the right phrase, but I didn't want to be sharing this right at the beginning because it just didn't seem appropriate. So I'm getting distracted because Iliad's over here checking things out. Anyway, so this is what I'm working on. I'm very close to having this quilt top pieced. I'm going to do a little embroidery on this as well. I'm going to embroider a little Easter egg, a little chemistry Easter egg at the bottom. And there's a meme about wet floor with H2O molecules around the wet floor sign, and I've sort of stylized that and digitized it, and I'm going to put that in the bottom of one of the shirts for my daughter's fiance, because it was her suggestion, because I said I'd like to do a little surprise somewhere in this for him, and she said that was he loved that meme. He recreated it once in high school, I think. I'm pretty sure that's what I understand, and she thought that would be really fun. So when I get this done, I will share, of course, a finished version with you guys. There's a little bit more you can't actually see. There's all kinds of funky clothing in here, and I will be making another quilt that has some of the same clothing, but there's actually a bit of different clothing as well. There will be more in the quilt for his parents, and the layout's going to be very different. I'm going to use, actually just let me grab it. For theirs, I'm going to be using this charcoal grunge. I don't know if that's the actual name of the fabric. I picked it up at one of my local quilt stores, and so grunge is such a good, it's just a good fabric to pull everything together. So I'll be using this on the other memory quilt, and after a great deal of discussion with Josh, who will eventually be my son-in-law, this is going to be the back, because as I said before, his brother made a lot of tie-dye. He had a lot of tie-dye stuff in his clothing. And so the back's going to be tie-dye. This is going to be the back for both quilts. I also got a little mail. Thank you, Barb, for sending this. I haven't even opened it yet, but it looks like a whole set of string blocks. So I'm looking forward to adding these to my orphan blocks. And to finish up, I have set myself a goal of trying to finish a bunch of random samples. So when I was selling patterns, I tested everything, and sometimes I tested it, but I didn't quilt it or bind it. And I have several, I want to say 3 or 4 little like mini quilts left. I have some blocks left that haven't ever been put in anything. So what I want to do is get those finished up, get them put in something, getting moved on, and have them not just sitting in a drawer. So the first thing I did was, feels like 1,000 years ago, but it was probably closer to 15. I designed a layout for 5-inch blocks called Classic Film. You guys may have seen it, you may remember it. This was the original sample. It was the one that was on all the patterns. Originally the blocks were just white with nothing on them because this was just the test pattern. So I embroidered the same heart in multiple colors. This is, I believe, in Urban Threads. I will pull this up so I can tell you. This was a good practice for me because I haven't done a lot of centering on something that already exists. A lot of times if I'm doing a quilt block kind of thing, I just stitch it out and then I center it when I cut it out. So I played with centering. I played with just color, really, because this was all blue with a white background. So I did rainbow sans blue. And I really love the way it came out. I just put a solid green on the back. I quilted it, I actually quilted it on my mid-arm. I used a sample stitch that I had, it was actually a test stitch I did for my signature. I used that on the back, and it's really subtle, but I like it. So that's my label. It doesn't have a name or anything. And this was an orange bubble up from the Fat Quarter Pack of Bubble Up I bought in 2020, I think. And I put a sleeve on it because I have a magnetic curtain rod on my front door, and so I'm going to hang it, at least for a while, I'm going to hang it on my front door, and then maybe eventually it'll go on my wall over here. But yeah, so I love it. I think it came up great. It was a fun way to finish something that should literally just been sitting in a drawer for years and years and years. So my husband has gaming on Thursday nights with some friends from college, and my goal is to do a little bit of UFO sewing on Thursday nights because that's just, it's only a couple hours and it gives me a chance to, and sort of a dedicated time to work on stuff like this. And this was the last couple of Thursdays. Guys, I'm glad to see you. I hope you're doing well. It's been one thing after another. I'm very hopeful that this year will settle down and move forward. It would be nice to have some healing and just some nice positive forward motion. So that is it for me. Again, I hope you guys are well. I hope you're doing okay. A big thanks to all the people who have sent stuff to help replace my kiddos' stuff. I made an Amazon wish list and put it on my personal Facebook page, and a lot of my wonderful friends have come through and just, I don't know for sure, like mathematically I don't know for sure. We've probably replaced most of his games and a couple of odds and ends that were special to him, and we are working on the rest. So again, thank you guys. Thank you for your well wishes. Thank you for your love, and thank you for watching. Have a wonderful week. Have a crafty week. If you'd like to join us on Talk to Me Tuesday, I'll put a link in the description as how you can do that, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.